This is Metro Radio News. Breaking story. Sire is under siege by an army of Karrnathi undead. Under a hail of attacks, witnesses saw Jurel and a warforged automaton brutalize the dastardly attackers, while Mal and Kian Studz wielded their magics to hold the line. But oh, what's this? An indomitable bone knight has called out our courageous defenders. Let's find out what they're made of. Brought to you by House Civis.
The Horrors of War, Part 2.
The trench is nearby. And I'm using that terms in quest parlance, so you are within range, but not quite close enough to physically attack. You'd have to move, but it's close enough that you could move there in your turn. So there's the trench. They just pierce through. Because of the size of the two undead ogres and the bone knight kind of at the center of them, undead have yet to pour through, but you can tell that they're like clamping at the bit to get past. And obviously the ogres and the bone knight want to get a piece of y'all, so they are going to probably be walking forward, and a huge inrush of undead is going to start pouring out. And as we've talked about in quest before, you guys go, then I go. So feel free to, in any order which pleases you, to attack these people.
Just some details to make sure I've got the picture right. The magic wall has fallen, or there is a rupture in. Okay,
magic wall has fallen. That Gerard Butler flick.
So I have a question.
Wait, are we on a bridge? I remember there being a bridge last time. Is there a bridge here?
There is no bridge. Real bridge, but there is this narrowing because of the way that trenches are made. They kind of have the two parapets on either side, like stacked up. They've actually like broken through either side, so now it's just kind of like a funnel letting things in. And you guys had patched up the major hole previously with the help of another wizard, but now that the main thing keeping these undead from just like coming through is gone. Because think about it, when they fall over the trench, it has to fill up to a certain point for those undead to actually make it outside because they're like not dexterous at all.
Yeah.
And there's other smaller trenches around it, but there are like gangplanks and other things around here. But I wouldn't worry about it too much in like unless you want to bring it into the fight somehow.
So I have a question about my abilities. Mm-hmm. I know that shield says that it lasts until I take 3 or more damage in a single hit.
Yes.
Do we want to make that like specific to an encounter, or is it just going to last forever until...
I can say you can keep it up. Like, this has all been one big encounter. It's been like one big battle.
Right, but let's say I don't lose it after this battle. Is it just there until the next time we fight and I get hit for 3 damage, or what?
It's like a spell kind of thing. I'd assume that you can drop it.
I would assume that
it's not like you're gonna go to the bathroom and be like, "Oh God, I'm just gonna piss on the inside of my shield."
Well, no, it's just like I don't want to drop it. Is the point? But like I don't.
I think technically what they call different encounters in quest is scenes. A lot of magical abilities only last a scene, but I'm considering this fight to be one big scene in a way, so I would be fine with like that being still up for this. Okay, but once this battle ends, like you guys start if you guys take a rest or the next day happens, I'd assume it's gone.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know, is like for future reference.
All right, so I'm gonna yell out to the tin can over there, or tin can being you, Colin.
Yes.
Steel. Give me a boost, tin can, and like.
I do so without hesitation. I step right over to Gan, lift him up, but like because of the lack of specificity, what it's gonna do is just grab right under the armpits and pick it up kind of like a little kid.
No, not like that.
Okay.
No, I mean throw me up so I can hit the big guy.
Okay. Do I need to? Do we? Okay, so this is like a tandem action, I guess.
Yeah.
I can like spin around and shot put.
You need to throw me.
So
Don't tell them, Ryan.
So because Gandrel, you could just run up there on your own. I'm going to say this is fully flavor. It's not really going to cost you anything but your move, Gan.
What'll it cost? What do I have to do anything?
I'm going to say no. Just because it, like, technically speaking, unless well,
I would assume
it's a good
that
question.
Throwing a person would be my action.
Well, no, maybe I should reframe the question. Chowder, are you hoping to gain some kind of benefit from doing this other than just getting right next to the Bone Knight?
Well, I kind of want to like shadow of the cloths the thing and like grab onto him and like hit him while I'm like on top of him. So I don't know if there's any particular advantage. I think that's just a fun thing to do.
Okay, yeah. So I don't see. I'm not going to penalize you for coming up with something
That sounds
crazy.
Look at Chowder.
Yeah.
Look at Chowder trying to have fun playing Dungeons and Dragons. What?
I don't playing Dungeons and Dragons.
That's what I was. That's what I wanted.
We kind of are.
That's kind of what I wanted to get across. Because like, if it's just for flavor, I don't want to penalize anybody for adding flavor. So
Right.
you can do that. And I'm going to say, like, the launch is super successful, but as you come in close and prepare yourself for the attack, I need you to roll for an attack.
Okay, yeah.
Can I roll to see if I can like boost this attack in any way, like help out?
I'll say if you want to sacrifice your movement, I will give a little
Yeah.
boosty boost to the
Give
attack.
a little boosty boost.
All right, so I pull out my hand axe and swing that shit down, and I get 5.
Oh.
So a five is a failure, but I did say there was going to be a boosty boost. So boosty boost.
Choking on that granola.
No, I'm laughing. Wait, do I have to roll for the
I'm
boost,
going
or
to
do
say
we just give it?
You just
already
give it with your movement, yeah.
You
Okay.
sacrificed your movement already. I'm going to say that
Thank God.
it boosts it from a failure to a tough choice. So I'm going to give you a tough choice, my friend. So the tough choice is Gan makes a successful attack, but does not actually like land on the Bone Knight, but passes over him and into the crowd of undead. Or instead of being in like an advantageous position on the Bone Knight, you're like basically right on his chest, and he can like, you're right in his face in very obvious like attack area.
I'm gonna go with the latter on this.
So you're gonna go. Wait. So which one's the ladder? I never understood
The
ladder or
chest.
the former.
It's the
So you're
second
gonna-
one.
All right, you're gonna land on the
Former
chest.
is the first, ladder is the second.
Ladder
I'm
is
never-
a fancy way of saying later.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm never gonna remember that. So it's okay. It's okay. So
I will
Dan,
explain it every time.
I'll
then
see
be
you
prepared
guys
for me
later.
to do the ladder. All right. So you do that. You make your successful attack. I'm assuming you're just doing the normal attack for 2 damage.
Yeah, just the normal attack.
All right. So what were you attacking with, Gan?
Well, my hand axe. Yep.
You swing down the axe and it kind of like punctures through right where the clavicle is, finding a little sweet meat between the helmet and the shoulder blade. A trickle of blood starts to come down, and you see the armored head just kind of like tilt in your direction, and just like it's so close you can feel this dude's breath on your face as he chuckles a little bit.
Steel, having used its movement, is going to follow up by trying to make a crossbow attack in the head to give Gan just a little bit more help.
All right, go for it.
That's a 15.
15 is a success.
I lift a loaded crossbow that I unjammed on the way over here, and I fire an arrow into the face of the Bone Knight. To inflict damage, it should be like what, 2 or 1 with a crossbow? Is it 1?
It's 2.
It's 2.
All weapons are 2. Unarmed is 1.
Gotcha. So
unless you have like the technique flow,
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, but okay.
So I do that. I shoot it in the face, and hopefully that helps Gan.
It does. You shoot it in the face. It doesn't like puncture the arm or anything, but as he's like making this menacing chuckling noise at Gan, an arrow or a bolt kind of comes up and cocks his head a little bit, and he now switches the direction as he stares down your giant metal form.
Oof.
Mal or Studz, it's your turn.
So last session I had summoned a little bird that I was using to help scout out the area. Yeah. So can I look using the telepathic link I have with the bird? Can I see what's going on now that the shield has broken?
Yeah, so now that the shield is broken, there is almost like a fluid trying to exit a hole. A lot of the undead are starting to mass around this area, and they are actually starting to come forward and fill up the trenches, the major trench and some of the intermediate trenches around you. And as they're filling up with undead, they're actually starting to creep forward and break through the line even more. You do notice that, like you, a lot of other bastion units have kind of shifted, and some of, like, for the most part, they are handling some of the excess. There's still a small trickle going into the town, but this is probably the biggest hole that needs to be plugged.
Story of my life.
Oh.
What?
Okay. So does looking through the bird's eye take my action?
I don't know. You tell me. It's your weird bird ability.
It doesn't really specify.
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm not going to say, yeah, it's fine.
In that case, I'm going to position myself behind everybody else, and I'm going to try to use my scintillate ability and shoot the little sparks and fireworks at this bone knight.
Okay, do that. It's a roll, right?
It is, but I got a 2.
You fail your intended action and face a setback of the guide's choice. You might lose equipment, take damage from an enemy counterattack, or face some other misfortune. I'm going to say that as you're trying to focus up and cast this spell, you're actually interrupted by a stray arrow coming from the undead lines as it hits you in the shoulder, and you're going to suffer 1 point of damage.
Ugh, egads.
Holy fuck. All right, Mal, it is now your turn.
So the Bone Daddy has shifted his gaze, but Jurel is still standing directly in front of him.
I'm like holding on to his chest.
Yeah,
right
holding
now.
on to his breastplate.
Okay.
Almost like
So,
a Baby Bjorn action going on.
Do I have enough movement to get to Bone Daddy and like pull Gan off of him?
You can
Or
if you want.
I should say Jurel because your last name is Gan, right?
Yeah, or no, my first name is Gan, last name.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a Chinese thing.
Technically speaking, all the enemies are nearby, so you can get to them in your turn.
Okay, so I would like to do that and like try to position myself in such a way that I remove Gan from his chest and like am a buffer between them.
All right. Yeah, I'll say you can use your action to do that.
Yeah. The other thing is, while I'm moving, do I notice any of my party is like particularly injured or anything?
Do you?
Yes.
Well, that's what I want to know is like, do I have the wherewithal to know what it looks like when a Warforged gets hurt?
As a trained battlefield medic with experience dealing with both Warforged and biological, you would be able to like stare people down and have a pretty good understanding of how like fucked up they are.
Yeah, I'm at 7 health, just so y'all know.
Same.
Perfect for killing. All right, so that is your guys' turn. Bone Knight, he kind of staring you down, Mal, whispers a few words of power, and you see a very similar shining aura kind of placed over him.
Oh.
And then the two undead ogres that are flanking his right and left are going to try and smash your guys' faces. So 1 attack for Mal, 1 attack for Gan. I'm going to roll that thusly. That is a 6. I think that's technically a success, but it's a hard choice for the first one. And then the second one, is a complete failure. So one, I'm gonna say they're both using like these big old clubs. So that 3 or that 6, it was on you, Mal. So it is gonna smash you with this big club, and as it does, its big club shatters, but so does your shield because it hits for 3 damage, eliminating your shield. The other one whiffs it so hard, it actually trips up and on like, there's like a zombie trying to get between its legs. And for whatever reason, in like this comedy of errors, it like gets a little bit of leverage on this like large creature, and it just like topples off to the side and is now prone, but it does not get a chance to attack.
Although, quick question, how does counterattack work again?
Enemy has to be within reach,
Yes.
and if they get a tough choice or worse. So if they get under a 10.
So can you make 2 counterattacks here?
There's nothing saying you can't.
I can just spam counterattacks as I learned last time. So
so you can if you want to go at it, you can. They both made tough choices or worse. So
right,
but only one of them attacked Gan, right? So Gan would only be able to counterattack one of them.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. The attack
That
has to be
fair.
against you.
I thought it was just anybody in reach.
In reach, if they make a failed attack against you, is the language.
yeah. I mean, he's falling prone now, so I won't use the counterattack just to move things along, but just so I know for future.
What?
No, go ahead, counterattack. Just roll that die,
Do damage.
I'll just roll the die then. Fine.
and then you get a natural one.
Fine, I'll play the game.
17.
If I have to.
17.
17. You strike for 2 damage. You cleave off a big old chunk of rotting flesh.
I'm not trying to die here.
All right.
All right. That is the Bone Knight, the Undead Ogre, and the other Undead Ogre. They not a great turn for the forces of evil here. Now it's your guys' turn.
Okay, question for Matt. What weapons does Kian Studz have at his disposal?
I have.
And does anybody have
knife,
the ability
and I
to
have
do 3
another
damage?
I'm sorry, what was that, Matt? I couldn't hear you. Pat was making jokes.
I wasn't making a joke. I was legitimately asking.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Matt, I couldn't hear you. Pat was not making jokes.
I have knife and I have another knife.
Okay, so knives do 2 damage. Okay, so I'm going to use my size up ability now that Gan and Mal have gotten away from the Bone Knight, and you said the Bone Knight erected an aura around itself similar to Mal's shield.
Bone Knight fully erect.
Oof. So I want to use my size up ability to get an idea of what's going on. And once again, at minimum, I at least know whether or not this is like a fair fight. But ideally, I would get a little more insight about how to attack this daddy.
You use this ability. You use your automaton-like logic to size this Bone Knight up. And you are overcome with the sensation that the smart decision would probably be to flee. But
Okay.
you were given a direct order, so guess it's time to die in your Warforged brain. That's what you're thinking.
Well, the interesting thing about this Warforged is that its function has always been as a support unit. And as such, it is going to walk back to Studz, recovering from the recent arrow hit, and is going to speak to Studz.
This barrier is not something I have the ability to penetrate. We must reevaluate our position.
Yeah, it looks like there's a whole bunch of these underlings swarming the area. We should probably fall back for now.
For the integrity of the unit, we should withdraw, protect the townspeople, and rendezvous with our superiors.
One thing, Steel, this would be disregarding a direct order.
Steel is presenting this to somebody else in the unit that would be of a higher rank than him, and is thus still following the chain
You
of
are all
command.
the same rank, BT dubs.
Am I,
BT
as an
dubs, yep.
automaton?
You're not an automaton. You are a sentient thinking being. You are the same rank.
Someone who's treated like an automaton. I don't know.
Yeah, but you're still the
I have
same
a feeling
rank.
I'm
Right,
one
he's
stripe
saying
lower.
he's saying that he would be the same rank as us, but because he's a robot, we would inherently like think down
Except
on
he's
him
not
and
a
tell him
robot,
what
though.
to do.
He literally has
I'm
like
just-
a soul. as
yeah,
a
no,
Warforged.
but the fiction
Right.
of this character is that it is treated like an automaton.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. It's like, to us, we would think him as a lesser being, even though
Yes.
he has the same amount of sentience and whatnot. That's what
Yeah,
the
Steel behaves essentially as like a bomb sniffing dog.
right.
Okay.
That's where it is at this point.
He's
So
giving
that-
us full reign to treat him like a second-class
Yeah.
citizen.
So,
All right,
I'm not issuing an order. I'm presenting my analysis of the situation and saying it would be for the integrity of the team. This is what we should do.
Knowing how Kian's mind works, I would say that he would, for his action, he will pull out the friend flute and signal everyone else to fall back a bit.
So that's Studz and Steel that have gone so far.
Have we left yet? What does the friend flute do? Is that just like a signal, like a horn?
More or less, a horn that would affect the only the people that I guess I consider friends, or the people in my party can hear it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna yell out, "Hell no! I have him on the ropes!" And I'm gonna like use overpower, or not an overpower, wild attack to like try to deal some damage to him.
All right.
To the bone knight, yeah.
Do that wild attack. Do that thing that you do.
That is 15.
What is the 15 doing a wild attack? Yeah.
You deal double damage.
All right, so you do 4 points of
yeah.
damage.
Yeah, so, for flavor, I'm gonna say that, like, I move around him and, like, hit him in the Achilles tendon, because that sounds fun.
All right, yeah, now that you've been stripped off of his front, you kind of twirl around and try to get to a soft spot, hopefully more unprotected than his torso, and you do so. Pat, for shield, does the excess damage carry over, or does it end?
Yeah, so it blocks 3 of the damage and then breaks if it takes 3 or more in a single hit. Okay. So any damage dealt in excess of 3 passes through the shield and hits.
All right, so with that doubly damage, so that happens. You see the shimmering just kind of shatter, and you see him almost fall to one knee. You little vermin.
If you're so mad about it, do something, bitch!
Oh, he's gonna do something.
Ooh,
about it.
spicy.
Mal, it is now your turn.
I need a glass of milk after all that spice.
I am. So you said this is technically one giant scene. So my declaration has been used.
Yes, your declaration has been used because it's the same kind of encounter.
Damn it. Okay. I guess I will also attack. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got left.
Do you do anything to react to me blowing the friend flute?
What does the friend flute text say exactly?
It's I can go back and find it, I guess. This is not ideal. Gear up. Friend flute. A small magic whistle that knows who your friends are. When you blow the whistle, only your friends nearby can hear its sound. So I was going to blow the whistle and then try to wave everybody to fall back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I actually do want to ask a question. I'm assuming that there are more forces of our army back towards the townspeople in the village and whatnot.
There is there's other bastions and other units like kind of around you guys right now fighting off other undead.
Gotcha. Okay.
And yeah, so like I'd imagine that there's still a bunch of fighting going on. It's just I don't want to confuse you guys, especially since we're not using like a map with like a bunch of excess scenery that might distract you. So I'm trying to keep you focused on this particular scene.
So I have a question.
Yes.
if I were to attempt to like grab Gan and start running, would that take my action and my movement?
Yes.
Okay. After I see Gan break through the shield, I like think about attacking, but then I'm going to try to grab her arm and like pull her along with me as I run back towards the group.
Another important thing is Gan, you have agency. Do you want to be pulled away?
So here's the thing. As Chowder, I want to be pulled away. As Gan, no. So
right, so that's why like should we roll? Should we roll for it, or should like Gan just gets the final say?
No, I think in this situation you attempt, because Quest is big on consent and agency. We should follow through. And as you try to pull her off and pull her away, what do you say, Gan?
Come on! I have him on the ropes. What are you doing?
Listen, it's us two versus 3 enemies right now. The rest of our team is retreating. Or I guess, hold on, I gotta say this in character. Gan, you gotta trust me, dude. The rest of our team is retreating to try to regroup. We're up against 3 gigantic monsters right now. We need to run.
Come on, you just saw what I did to him. I got this.
At this point, I'm just going to start running, but as I touch her arm, I'm going to use my mend ability to give her 5 hit points back.
Oh, nice. Dope. So yeah, you run away.
I want to see if it gives excess hit points or just up to 10.
Okay, yeah. Gang, you are going to receive some hit points. As you guys start to run away, you see the other bastion unit that came here before.
JK, I can't use the spell during combat, sorry.
Okay. But as you guys are starting to retreat, you see the other bastion unit that came to support this breach before, the one with the wizard. They all start to scream out at you, "What are you doing? We can't retreat now!"
Is it still our turn?
No, all of you guys have gone. So, Bone Daddy turn. Well, yeah, Bone Daddy turn.
Can I, as a free action, speak?
Sure.
Okay, when the wizard calls out, I'm going to shout to the adjacent bastions, and I'm assuming the adjacent bastions, you said they're killing undead. Are they also facing these 3 giant monsters, or is that just us?
There's a mix of larger and smaller monsters and other, like, there's even some human units that have started to appear. Not necessarily this Bone Knight level, but there are humans on the field as well from Karrnathi.
At that, as Steel ensures that everybody that is retreating is doing so safely, shouts out,
"Remain here and perish. If we move back and regroup, we may succeed. Your choice."
and just keeps going.
What the hell are you doing, you tin can? That doesn't make any sense. It's a battle. Of course where some of us are gonna die.
Steel continues moving. It has issued its analysis.
Hearing him call out about people die, Studz thinks to himself, "Not me. I'm gonna live."
I made
almost
you guys
forever.
too selfish. No. So Bone Knight kind of makes a quick turn around to you, Gan.
So, I guess I'll have to find out what you're made of first, and then I'll have to track down your friends.
And it is going to attack you. For a tough choice.
Counter attack!
I'm going to say it loses its footing a little bit, and it kind of spins around a little bit as it does this broad attack, and because of the mud and everything and the muck, it overshoots a little bit. It still slices at you for 3 damage, but loses its footing and is now prone. So go ahead and roll your counterattack.
So I don't know if this is just the dice talking, but based on size up, I was made to understand that we were not a match for this thing. Was that pranks? Was that jokes happening? What's going on here?
No, you are not a match. But in war, like, you're not always fighting an equal opponent.
Yeah.
I get a 14. So
14 does hit, so you do 2 points of damage.
yeah.
You notice when it strikes you, there's like a sickly green pale tinge to the sword, and you can feel like your blood just kind of like oozes onto it almost in a natural fashion. You can see that the bleeding stops on his clavicle, like on his shoulder, and when you make the counterattack, you like stab in, and it, like, the wound almost heals as he stabs you, as you stab him. It like heals around the blade a little bit when you pull out. You can feel like maybe he heals himself from, damaging people.
All right.
And then
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's your turn.
One of the undead ogres is going to make another attack on you, Gan. For another tough choice. I'm going to say, because it has no weapon, it just smacks you around. Like, it literally beats you, but it pushes you away from, like, in reach to nearby as it flings you across the battlefield. It doesn't have a weapon, but it still does 2 points of damage.
All right. 2 points of damage.
And then that second ogre is going to run after Mal and is going to attempt to fight. For another tough choice. I'm only rolling tough choices. You take 3 points of damage, Mal. But I'm going to say that shatters your shield, right? Or is it already shattered?
My shield is already shattered.
So you take 3 points of damage. Actually, no, it's just 2 because it already lost its weapon against your shield. The other one already lost its stuff too. So I'm going to say it also trips up and falls like as it runs after you. It trips up. They're all just tripping. They trip up and it smacks you.
Ogres be tripping.
And it puts you a little bit farther away from it, so you're not technically in reach of it if you wanted to get away from it. Okay. But that is all there. I'm only rolling tough choices.
So like Gan's like, seeing the wound that like the dude just made on her, and also taking into account what she.
The
just
fact
saw
that you have
with the
1
healing.
health.
The fact that I have like 2 health. Yes. Oh my god. So I'm gonna like quickly just like slam my fist to the ground and be like, damn it! And like I'm actually gonna heed Mal's advice and actually just retreat with the rest. So I
cowards all. All right, so yeah, you go from in reach to nearby. Is there anything you're doing as an action?
You could attack the ogre that's next to me.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use my crossbow to like shoot the ogre that's next to Mal.
All right, roll for an attack, please.
Alrighty. 8.
8 is a tough choice. I'm going to give you the choice of either the attack is successful, but the string on your crossbow breaks, or you suffer a counterattack by the ogre as it like swipes back at whatever is attacking it.
I'm gonna say the string breaks. I can't take another counterattack.
All right. So the string breaks on your bow in a very disappointing as the din, a very sour note in this kind of orchestral din of battle, but not looking great. So that was game.
What is
I do want to do one more thing and just yell out worthless hunk of junk and just toss the crossbow aside, because that's not going to be helping.
All right, yeah, you do that.
What is Mal's current position? I know that they're near Gan.
So the ogre kind of like pushed them forward with the attack. So they're maybe 4 or 5 feet. They're still kind of technically nearby to the ogre, but if they were to run away on their turn, they would probably be out of range for melee attacks the next turn.
Cool. All right. So Mal, since you're in the action, do you want to take your turn next?
I'm just gonna continue to run away.
Okay.
Actually, I guess I'll use my action to bring up my shield again.
All right, make sure you count off that action point.
Yep, and then I'll run away.
And then you run away. You are now in range for distance-based attacks. But you are out of range of melee.
So Steel has not retreated quite as far as Studz, because again, it's been facilitating getting troops sort of together. Is like that wizard that yelled and some of those other bastions still sticking around?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we get a little more? Can I get a little more detail on what is going on with those bastions and how far I am from them?
So because one of the ogres is like kind of stepped out of the breach, they've all been kind of maneuvering, so the breach is more or less open. More undead are streaming out besides the 2 ogres and the Bone Knight, and you can see that the other bastion's wizard is trying to use like some magic to kind of keep distance away from the other ones and put down probably the highest level spells he knows to fight back. And the other skirmishers in that unit are fighting, but they are quickly getting surrounded But they're trying their best to hold the line.
Okay, and based on your description from Mustaf earlier, our army has artillery options, right?
It does.
Okay. Okay. Well, Steel already sort of did not heed the complaint of the standing wizards. So both Mal and Gan are successfully fleeing the engagement. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
All right. Then I want to look up towards where Studz is going, back toward the village. What kind of stuff are we for our regroup? What is our immediate option? Like, what's the size of the force that we're going to? Is that artillery something we can signal for? What can I do in this situation?
So the artillery line is pretty far back. It's right before the town, and it's still firing. It's firing on the positions, but it's firing like into the horde, not on the front line.
Okay.
So there's an artillery line directly in front of the town. They're also having to try and fight off, because it's not like a complete line. It's like in different areas. They have like different setups, but it's porous, not like your guys' front line. They're also having to deal with like the intrickling of undead, as they're also trying to keep down sustained fire to stop you guys from getting overwhelmed. So you see that happening, and then you see not a ton of undead, definitely in like the double digits, not in the triple or quadruple digits, double digits, like 30, 60, 40 undead starting to filter out kind of from this major point, this major breach, as they started like sweep through the town. You can see behind them, there are townspeople and like town guards trying to keep them back, but they are failing. They are completely outnumbered.
Okay, as sort of free action, I'd like to call up to Studz, because I know that Studz has like the bird, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Kian, if we regroup at the town, we can issue an attack from the artillery line. I will gather everybody from the front line and meet you there.
I don't know if Kian decides to do anything with that information, but I'm going to look back at the wizard that yelled at me before. Are they doing okay? I know they're casting all those high-level spells. Are they doing okay?
They're taking damage. They are surrounded, and their backup just left. So
then I am going to use my charge action to move toward them as fast as I can. I violently barrel through any foes in my path, knocking them down, dealing 1 damage to each of them. Creatures I knock down are dazed and cannot use special abilities during their next turn. So I make it using charge.
So is charge like a movement too? So you get like double movement?
Yeah, it does not state that it uses my movement. It is an ability all its own.
Okay, I'll say that if you use charge, you can get to nearby, like kind of where the other bastion unit is, and I'll say you're like clipping through and barreling down undead as you do so.
So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna like hunker down, shoulder charge through a bunch of these things. Once I reach a relatively clear point nearby to the wizard, I am going to speak up once again. And this is, I guess what I'm about to say is pretty unusual for a Warforged in this context, I think. I am going to say,
you cannot fight for victory if you are dead. Come with us and ensure victory at the town.
I think what you mean to say is, come with me if you want to live.
Say,
you
wait,
had an opportunity.
Say that.
No.
Say the thing.
No. The pressure. The pressure.
As you say this, you kind of draw the wizard's attention as trying to do other things. What do you mean? What do you mean attack from the town? If we lose this, we lose the town.
The artillery can maintain this breach better than you or I can. Come with me.
So you're proposing we shoot on our own lines. Get in here and do your duty.
Colin is hoping that the fact that Steel just barreled down like a decent amount of enemies like shows that Steel is not afraid of combat, but is not like acting out of just sheer self-preservation. I don't know if the wizard picks up on that.
I mean, he kind of busy and probably didn't see that.
Okay.
Can I take my turn?
Yeah, I still haven't used movement, so I might come back to that. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So as far as the ogres that we were fighting before, are they still near Mal and Gan?
No, because I think they ran full steam away. The only one that might be close, I think Mal hasn't gone, but last turn I think this turn, if they were to run away, they would be like in range, but these are purely physical beasts. So
then I am going to use my scintillate ability again, and I guess I'm just going to start. I can just make the ranged attack against a target that I can see. So I'm just going to start trying to rain down from above, and I'll attack one of the ogres that we were fighting before.
Just for clarification,
yes,
you said that the ogre attacked me, pushed me 5 feet away, and then fell prone, and then I used my movement to run.
Oh, okay.
In that order.
I was all right. Yeah.
Yes.
So you're okay. Yeah. I was gonna say. I mean, either way, you were out of range because I was gonna say I had to use this movement to step up, and it would still not be in with reach. So yeah,
I think Gan might be semi close to that one, but
I think Gan might be close to that one, but I think she ran too.
Okay. So I'm going to attack this prone one then.
All right. Yeah. So you attack the prone one. Go ahead and roll for it.
12.
12, I believe, is a success. So that's 2 damage, right?
It is 2 damage, as there's like a little mini explosion from the firework.
Yeah, pew, 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 and it kind of explodes little pockets of rancid flesh off this undead ogre. It is now. So that was Studz. Mal, you haven't gone yet, I believe.
No, Mal got away this turn. That was this turn.
Oh, that was this turn. Okay.
Yeah, I have not used my movement yet though. So
we went Gan, Mal, and then those two.
I want to make one last appeal to the wizard, and as after Kian's fire rains down, giving us a bit of like suppression and cover, I'm gonna say one last time.
Your corpse is worth nothing in battle. Pride is irrelevant. Retreat now or die.
He just looks at you and fucking spits.
Steel turns and runs back to regroup with everyone else, using regular movement to bypass all the people that it knocked down on the way in.
All right, so the Bone Knight and the Undead Ogre are just gonna like saunter over to where that mage is, and that's a hit, and that's a hit. So, just striking down, and they move from, and you can tell that as they're like just basically cleaning up shop as you guys retreat.
Yep.
And then the other undead ogre is gonna use its movement to get up, and I'll say it has to use its movement. It's gonna just push towards the town.
Cool.
As a big stream now, basically the whole line just opens up as hundreds of undead begin to pour
yeah,
through.
because if that mage falls, then the wall probably falls with it.
Well, no, the wall had already fallen, but
I mean
you
the
guys,
magic wall.
Yeah, but I mean, basically what's happening is that the front line has now lost several of its members, and it's now unsupported, and they're getting overwhelmed.
Have the other bastions, like aside from this mage, have the other bastions not been falling back with us?
No.
Oh, okay.
All right, it's back to you guys' turn. You guys are basically at the artillery line now. I'm going to say more or less at this point.
All right, we're at the artillery line. I'm gonna say to the others, the knight. He's got some sort of magic weapon. Heals him when he hits other people.
This is why it would have been foolish to stay. We must enlist the artillery to assist in maintaining the front lines.
All right, I'm gonna yell to the people at the artillery. Focus fire at the knight!
They just kind of look at you with like surprise on their face. They're also fighting off some undead. No, we can't. We'll be shooting at our own line, our own people.
They had a chance to escape. They neglected to take it. We must protect Sire.
Fuck you, Tin Can. Get the fuck away from me.
Steel is not immediately next to them. It just stands and stares.
What is the status of the battlefield if I look through the bird's eye?
I mean, the other flanks and stuff are doing okay, but that gap is now basically exploded. It's an open cut through your line, and there are hundreds of undead pouring through.
Awesome. Well, I guess I'm just gonna do what I've been doing and keep throwing the fireworks towards whoever the fuck it's gonna hit.
All right, go ahead and roll.
16.
All right, 16 hits. I'm gonna say it's that ogre that's kind of ambling towards the town.
Okay.
All right, so that is
another 2 hit points. And I guess I'm too focused on trying to shoot and scout the battlefield at the same time. I don't really have time to say something right now.
All right. Anybody else going?
Mal needs to go.
Yeah, I want to.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, I didn't really go. I just talked to the guy, right? Or does
That's
that?
Yeah, no, you haven't done an action. You're good.
All right. So what I want to do is say, screw this. Push the guy we were talking to aside and commandeer the artillery. And
do you have any magical ability?
I do not have any magical ability.
So the way that arcane artillery works in Eberron, it's basically like a super big staff. So you're channeling a spell through it.
Okay, so wait.
I wouldn't know how to do that at all. I wouldn't even think to do it.
Well, I can play off of that because Steel is all about sort of analyzing the situation. If you push the guy off the artillery but can't use it, if you still want to take that action, Steel can try to follow up on it a bit.
All right, I pushed the guy off. Tin Can, you know how to operate this?
Oh, hold on, I didn't have my finger on the button. Oops.
I do not, but I believe one of our... I do not, but I believe that one of our platoon mates does.
And Steel looks down at Maul.
What?
You're magical.
You
have magical abilities.
That's, let's just say I only have one magical ability.
Better than nothing.
Better than me.
Can, as you shove this guy, what the fuck are you doing? Are you working for the other side? What's wrong with you?
I bitch slap him.
What? Are you gonna say anything with the bitch slap or just do it?
Just commandeer the artillery, man.
Am I now with... Hold on. Are we still in combat, technically?
Yeah, I'm keeping
combat.
round order. I'm keeping round order right now.
But, for the sake of my abilities, would I be able to use mend?
If it says you have to be out of... I mean, technically you're out of combat, but... I mean...
We're using the rotation to keep order of things, but
you're not in combat
engaged
right now.
in a fight.
Okay, so
You're fully retreated.
I would like to go up to Gan, put my hand on her shoulder while using mend, but also saying out loud, "This is not productive. We have to come up with another solution."
I grab him by the cuff of his collar and go, "Artillery, now!"
So just so you know, you just gained 5 hit points back.
All right.
All right, Steel, your turn is remaining. What do you do?
How many artillery weapons are there?
In this cluster, 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm. Does Steel have the ability to use any of them?
Nope, you have no magic.
Okay, nope, just making sure.
I mean, honestly, the only person, if you want the true answer, the only person that has any ability to use this at all would probably be Studz.
Okay, then I'm when I see
They're the only
Maul,
person. They're the only person with distance magic that doesn't attack.
Then after seeing Maul's hesitation, Steel is going to walk up to Studz, who is still raining hellfire down, and points back to the artillery, saying,
We could use your assistance.
And then I'm going to use the provoke action so that all the creatures ambling up. So that you said it's being led by one of the ogres, right?
Yeah, the ogre. I mean, the line is basically done, and there's now the wave is forming and going to be attacking the town.
So the ogre at the head of the attack, I'm going to use my provoke action after telling Studz that they would be useful on the artillery. I'm going to use provoke to get the attention of the ogre and try to draw the line to me as I continue to slowly walk down the path toward the approaching wave.
All right, you do that. Man, this is not how I thought this was going to go. Big fucking oofta. So, Bone Knight and the other ogre are basically cleaning up shop of your fellow bastion mates, and they're going to continue to do that this round. The other ogre that is approaching you is, since you're moving towards it, it's going to meet you in the field, and it is going to attack.
All right.
For a tough choice. I'm getting all these tough choices. It's going to hit you for 2 points of damage, cool. But it is going to fall into the dirt as it does so, because it's a big...
I'm also going to counterattack once it has fallen.
All right, you can do that.
Roll for it. That's 11.
I think that's a success, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's the baseline of success.
Hold on, it's baseline. So yeah, you hit. So that's 2 damage. It is looking kind of rough.
And after launching my counterattack, I'm going to yell, "Now!"
Okay.
To whomst?
Yeah, to whomst. I'm confused, but
I'm just yelling back to the folks at the artillery.
So the artillery is active and being used,
but it's not being used where it needs to be used, and that's the whole problem.
Well, I would say that is wholly your opinion.
Yes, I'm stating my opinion. That's exactly what I'm doing.
I'm just saying an opinion.
So they don't. You're not in charge of them, so they just keep on firing where they were told to be fired by their commanding officer. They're going to continue to fire on the behind the lines, not in front of it.
I mean, is it our turn again?
No, yeah, it's now your guys' turn.
Okay. Well, Kian, Studz, how do you react to the things that
I was going to let Pat go.
Okay, gotcha.
See, now that I've healed Gan a bit, I shift my gaze over to fucking Steel because I can see they are also a little bit bloodied. I'm going to run over to the ogre that just fell down and attempt to attack it.
All right, you run up. Go ahead and roll for an attack.
Fuck. I got a 4.
You fail. Your unintended consequence is you're going to suffer a counterattack by the ogre.
Okay.
And it is going to roll that attack. It also failed, so nothing happens. It reaches out and just covers you in mud.
Does the mud go on my shield?
I guess so. But that's only what happens. All right, so that is Mal.
So just a little topography here. I've stepped in front of Kian, so that means Maul is also in front of Kian. So Kian is between us and Gan back at the artillery.
I mean, yeah, Kian and Gan are basically at the artillery thing. You guys are in front of it.
Yeah, I thought we had walked down a little bit.
Steel, what are you doing?
I would like to let Kian go first. Let Studz go first.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just shooting my scintillate at whatever is the closest.
Do you have any reaction to the artillery stuff that I said and did last turn?
No, because you're not my boss.
Okay.
Sorry. I hate that.
Wait, then I want to ask, why would you listen to Steel to retreat, but not for this?
Because
that's self-preservation.
Self-preservation.
Yeah.
Okay, so very different motivations. Steel is going to attack the ogre and continue to voice the gravity of the situation and that we need more firepower than our weapons. Steel knows our weapons are not going to win this battle.
I rolled an 11 on my attack.
So that's a success.
Yeah.
So is there anything particular you're shooting at?
If the ogre isn't dead, then I'd probably just kill that thing or attack it.
Yeah, it's you hit. It is still up. All right, Steel, you're attacking what I assume the ogre, correct?
Yeah, I'm going to attack the ogre as well.
All right, go ahead and roll your attack.
That's a 1.
That's a failure. What weapon are you using right now?
Mace.
The mace shatters as it comes across the ogre. The ogre kind of just parries it and grabs your hand and just jabs your hand into the ground, and it just shatters your mace.
Gotcha.
You are, unless you have another weapon, you are fighting unarmed.
Yes, but fun fact, my unarmed attacks do just as much as weapons, so that's fine.
Gan, it's now your turn.
Okay, so first I want to say that is funny because that's the same for me. Mine armored attacks.
Yep.
Do the same. Yeah, but all right, and I'm gonna yell out, "Is there anyone with a pair of balls here?"
They all just stare at you as literally as the
Bone Knight visible? Is the Bone Knight visible?
Yeah.
They all see the Bone Knight and they just don't care.
It's not that they don't care. It's that they have orders. And if they stop attacking in various positions in front of the line, other breaches will happen. All right. So, Gan, you screamed at some people. What's your plan?
All right.
Can you force an artillery person to like aim their shot differently?
You can try. Yeah.
Okay, I want to try that then. Yes.
What do you say?
Well, I'm gonna like find a different artillery person, grab him as he's about to fire his shot, and then like just turn him in the direction I want him to shoot.
All right. I kind of like that. Can you just roll? Can you just do a quick roll and tell me the result?
Yep. Please don't suck. That is a 15.
All right, so success. So you kind of like getting super frustrated with everything going on. They're more or less ignoring you. You are not their officer, nor do you have any like ability to tell them what to do. You kind of wait until you see one of them start to cast a spell through the arcane artillery, and as they're doing it, like mid-process, you grab a hold of this artillery piece, and you kind of like move it and then lower it a little bit, and it launches out and like kind of spews out. He was casting I'll say like a firebolt spell. Shoots out this firebolt. It's a super narrow arc, and it just lays out probably a 30-foot radius of fire as it rains down on all of these undead. It clears out a lot of the undead, but you can see that it actually, the few remaining bastion units there were also hit, and now they are very badly wounded.
All right, I think that'll be my turn.
You have nothing to see here. I just blasted our
well, I mean, what do you say to that? What do you say to that?
You start sidestepping.
All right. So that's everybody on your end. They are going to continue to make malice. And so at this point, Steel and Mal, you are basically two of maybe a handful of other people that have come to meet this large crowd as it's approaching the artillery pieces. You are now more or less surrounded by undead. Mal, you are protected, of course, because none of them can hit over 3 or 3 at all. So you are getting pelted and beaten with your shield protecting you, of course, as maybe 10 skeletons and this ogre attempt to smack you around. You are protected, but you're getting jostled around. You're having you're basically getting pushed back. Steel, you are not protected at all.
Correct.
So I'm gonna make several attacks against you, and we'll see what happens.
They're gonna have to drag my fucking lifeless frame off the field. Plug it into a USB drive later.
I'll say I'm gonna do 5 attacks, so that's 1 success.
God damn.
That's a hard choice. I'm gonna say hard choices are just misses. They get kind of like blunted out.
For the sake of time.
It's a failure. That's a failure. That's a success. Was that 4?
That was 5.
That was 5. You had 2 successes, 1 tough choice, and 2 failures.
Yeah, so 2 successes. You take a grand total of 4 points of damage as they are ripping you apart.
Okay. Very cool. For the tough choice, do I get a counterattack?
You can, but failures? It's an overwhelming mob. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm tanking at this point. This is exactly what I'm trying to do. Okay. Is it back to us now, or is there anything else on that side? Where's this knight? What's going on with the knight?
Funny that you speak of the knight. He appears.
Oh, no. God damn it.
Seeing you, you can see him like basically barreling through the horde trying to get to you guys. He's going to make an attack on you, Steel. And that's a hit. What's your health at right now?
Probably like 1.
Yep.
So, as this strike comes forward,
as the knight approaches me, can I like yell out?
Yeah, of course.
I'm just going to yell out, "Take down the knight!"
Is there no way that he like would hit me instead of Steel?
there are specific abilities a fighter has to like draw aggro in a case like that. So I don't know that you would be able to do that.
So, I'll start over. The Twisted Black Claymore shimmers in the fireworks of battle, now made reflective with the abundance of blood that it has spilt. It begins to swing downwards. You are unprepared and unable to stop it as you are surrounded by a wave of undead. Time slows to a crawl as you try to analyze the situation and figure a way out, but nothing is coming to you. The blade gets closer and closer to your face. Then the Bone Knight's helmet twitches to the side for just a brief moment, and a shining mithril arm blade intercedes and stops the blade mere inches away, while you simultaneously feel a large, almost grip kind of crunch the steel in your back and toss you backwards. As you're thrown away, the whole tableau becomes into view. A mountain of a Warforged, easily a foot or two taller than you, is now in a heated duel with the Bone Knight. Over the din of the battle, you hear, and I'm going to use my little sound effects thing.
Go clear the town. The Iron Tide has this fight.
And as he says that, several explosions around the line happen, blowing up a ton of these undead as several other Warforged fighters appear. Some of them hurling bombs, some of them casting magic. And at one stops briefly. You can tell that they are wearing some kind of like holy garb. They stop briefly, say a small prayer, and you guys are healed for 2 hit points along with all the other like minor bastions and stuff like that are in range. And they seem to be kind of tanking this fight now, using higher level magics and superior fighting skill. They seem to be holding the line and attempting to push it back.
Okay, so as this happens,
keep on strolling.
I hear the new orders to protect the town, which I guess we don't really have a choice, seeing as we're basically surrounded by undead, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're stopping, they're stemming the tide a little bit, but there's a lot of undead in the city, moving into the town right now.
And I'm guessing that if I tried to commandeer one of the artillery pieces, I'd basically be shooting into the city or the town, and I'd basically be, I'd probably destroy part of the town too.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
You'd Michael Bay the fuck up.
Yeah, you'd Michael Bay it.
Michael Bay. I heard that name once in a dream.
So I am going to, I guess I'll try to use my bird to discern where I'm needed to go to help protect the town, and I will attack whoever with my fireworks.
So as you bring up the bird, it seems reinforcements have come to reinforce the line. Just a little bit late, it seems, but there is an influx of fighters roaming into the city, trying to track down and stymie the flow of undead from getting any deeper into the city. You do notice just up the street, basically, like, because the artillery pieces are kind of at the corner at where this town starts, the street right in front of you, which is Winarn Way. It is where the Golden Dragon is. The Golden Dragon is maybe about 100 feet away from where you guys are right now.
What is the Golden Dragon?
It's the inn that you guys got.
So we got our hot towels.
Previously. Hot towels.
Right. Okay.
Hot towely boys.
So I guess I'm just going to attack whatever undead I can see, and I'll roll to attack.
All right, go ahead and roll for it. There's a lot, so there's no thing that's non-specific at this point.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just doing whatever. I got a 9, so that's a tough choice.
Tough choice. I'm going to say it just misses because there's just such a big crowd of them. You're just kind of trying to stem the tide. Honestly, with a 9, I'm going to say it actually just succeeds because it's hard to miss if you're shooting into crowds.
Cool.
I'm going to say maybe you find it a little draining. Maybe you, for Studz, you break a fingernail, and it's disheartening with all this going on. True loss has appeared to you.
That was my favorite fingernail. The toils of war take no break for one as spectacular as myself.
So the giant Warforged just stopped the Bone Daddy attack against Steel.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been tossed aside.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go.
You've also all received 2 hit points as one of the
you
members
better
of the
believe
Iron
I already
Tide
wrote that
accepted.
down.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go over to Steel, kind of like pull him back into the the place where the artillery is, whatever you want to call that.
My pronouns are it and its.
Okay.
I'm not even kidding.
I'm gonna pull it, not even them, it, into the artillery area, and then I'm gonna cast Mend again to give them 5 hit points.
All right. Everybody or just one person?
Just the person I'm touching, so that would be Steel.
All right, so you get 5 hit
the
points.
thing that I'm touching.
All right, so that's Mal. Has anybody else gone so far? I think Studz.
I need to go.
I think Chowder's itching.
Yeah.
Steel and Gan, what are you doing?
All right, so are like the citizens like gathering around any place, or are they being evacuated anywhere? Or
there does seem to be a small crowd around the Golden Dragon, as a couple guards and a handful of soldiers are trying to keep back a decent amount of skeletons. But there's like a big crowd trying to like force their way into the Golden Dragon right now.
All right, so I'm gonna go to the Golden Dragon, run into the crowd, and use Provoke to get them all off the other people.
All right, you do that. You kind of gain their focus. You are now flanking them as you're kind of splitting their focus, and you've given the guards and the sentries an opportunity to attack, and you've also given the townspeople a small modicum of breath as they have a few precious seconds to try and stream inside this building. As you run forward, since you're the first person to run forward, several huge explosions land on the first layer of houses near the artillery pieces. It seems Karrnathi has instilled artillery all their own. The sickening green flashes erupt into gouts of acid and poison, melting houses and villagers alike.
Oofda.
You hear the screams as people basically melt. You luckily are unaffected. You managed to run through. Yeah,
our plot armor is too strong.
It's all set dressing. All right, so Steel, you haven't gone yet.
I have not gone yet. After Mal resuscitates me, the Iron Tide is what they are. The
Iron Tide is an Eberron in canon all Warforged strike force.
It's fucking dope as
hell. One of Sire's
premier,
so cool. one of Sire's premier units.
Steel goes like all ooh and I want to be one. I
want to join him so bad.
He's gonna start like doodling Iron Tide fanfic in his notebook.
Yeah,
all of you guys
got an
know
Iron Tide tattoo on his lower back.
Yeah, all of you guys know the Iron Tide. They were the first all Warforged unit. They are like supreme badasses. Their leader, I think his name is Ironhorn or something like that. I'm blanking. I deleted it.
That was my nickname in high school.
He's like legendary status.
Okay, so Steel familiar with the Iron Tide. After Mal helps bring him up to a reasonable amount of HP. How much did you give me, Pat? Was that 5?
5, yeah.
5. Oh, hell yeah, I gotta write this down. Ooh, okay, so Steel is going to say to Mal,
orders are not disregarded lightly. That knight must not enter the town.
Turns away and walks back into the village to try to assist Kian and Mal with grouping civilians where they're supposed to go. Now, once again, following orders.
All right. So, are you guys all kind of coming up where Gan is?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. All right. So, I mean, the Bone Knight's kind of out of play. He's dueling. The Ogre's basically dead. You guys are fighting off some of these undead creatures. All of you just we'll go quickly, or at least try to. What are you guys doing on your turn? It's back to your turn. They're just all fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna continue to try to kill all the undead around me.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Just to expedite this, because there's a great many undead, and I don't want to do this for like the next hour. Everybody just roll a d20.
Woo!
I got a 20.
I got a fucking 20.
I got an 18.
18.
Oh my god, I got a 4.
Oh, bye, Chowder. It was fun.
Gan's so amped up. You fight well. You all fight well. Gan, I'm going to say you take 2 points of damage from that failure. But you managed to run through the 30 or 40 undead skeletons relatively quickly, especially with those 20s. Like, between the split focus of you having them like both their front and their back, you're basically like crunching them in, and the center can't fight. You work through them extremely quickly. They're easily dispatched. And as you kind of take in around you, I'm going to say this is kind of the end of the fighting for the moment. As you kind of take in the scene around you, many dead, undead, and wounded lay on the cobbled ground, now a deep red instead of a dusty brown in front of the Golden Dragon Inn. As you are scanning your immediate surroundings, you see a familiar face lying in a pool of blood. It seems that Jurel is fallen. As you guys take it in for a brief moment, you hear him cough and a spout of blood kind of shoot out of his mouth.
Can I run over?
Yeah, I'm gonna call out to Mal. Oh, he's still alive. Help him out. And like, I'm also gonna run over to see if I can help in any way. Yeah.
As you run over, who would be hitting there first?
Probably me.
All right. Yeah. As you run over, he kind of just like reaches out like blindly almost and grabs you. Find Kason. Make sure he's safe. And then he kind of like grabs your neck and pulls you in super fucking close. Make sure he's as he passes.
Don't worry, Gerald. Or, as I called you in my memories, Jerry. We'll rescue Kason, no matter what.
All right, let's fucking do this.
I am made of steel alloy with wooden supports.
Really? You have wood?
Yeah.
Yep.
That seems dumb.
Well, it's wood and leather. So there is a material in Eberron called live wood.
Why
I
don't
believe.
you go get fucked, you piece of shit?
All right. There is a material in Eberron called like live wood, I believe.
Giant racist gaping ass.
Whoa, nobody said anything about racism. I just said
Nobody
wood
said
is a
anything about
poor
gaping
material
asses.
choice.
Yeah, amazing. I'm the Warforged racist here.
God, yeah.
Yeah, but Pat in the real world is a Warforged racist, and I won't stand
No,
for
I
it.
love Warforged.
Your best friends are Warforged.
Fuck me.
I'm so confused.
All right, 1 second. I'm just writing
Pat,
some
this
stuff
is just
out.
going to have to be a whole bonus blooper episode at this
I
point.
guess, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's too much gold here.
I
have much
sure,
gold.
There's some gold here.
I mean, it's fool's gold, but still.